From giving Amanda Nunes a run for her money to defending her title 7 times in a row, it didn't seem like Valentina Shevchenko was ever going to lose. But Alexa Grasso exposed the flaws in her technique. Let's be honest, heading into UFC 285, no one, and I really mean no one, expected the Mexican to do much. She was the huge underdog, but she managed to silence the world with her performance. The way she went into the match and the discipline she showed on her feet and on the ground were too impressive. To top it all off, the manner in which Grasso ended the fight will force the Bullet to rethink her strategy. You see, Val throws a lot of spinning attacks, whether it be the spinning back fist or the spinning kicks. It's just the bread and butter for the former queen of the flyweights. She has dominated challengers before with her explosive striking. But where the rest of Val's opponents were scared of this, Alexa chose to walk into it and make it work in her favor. It was the Russian spinning kick that would spell the end of her reign, because it left her exposed for a second. And that was all Grasso needed to finish the fight. She sidestepped that kick, and as Val's back was turned on her opponent for just a brief moment, the Mexican took her back. In the words of Joe Rogan, Alexa snuck up on her like a ninja, sank in her hooks, forced her to the ground, and submitted her with a rear naked choke. It was so quick that the Bullet didn't even see it coming, and before she knew it, her face was changing colors and she had to tap out. This alone was so impressive that it left the world in a state of shock. To put it into context, just imagine this. Before UFC 285, Val had never been submitted, and I'm talking about a professional MMA record that expands almost 20 years for Shevchenko. That's just insane. Call it what you will, this wasn't just a fluke by Grasso either. It was by design. Right after the fight, the Mexican revealed that she had been practicing for this. She knew what Val was going to throw, and she prepared for it.
Glad that I trained super hard all these months, all these years, and well, this is the result of that.
It certainly is a result of that. You told us how extreme you were with this training camp, how hard you worked, the most training sessions you had ever done.
Props to her and her team for identifying the flaws in Bullet's seemingly perfect technique. As I said, no one identified it ever before, and Grasso prepared for it. Not only that, she executed it beautifully. That was one of the best back takes I've seen in recent years. And it just goes to show that Alexa wasn't just another lamb for slaughter, as most of the MMA world wrote her out to be. She was there to prove herself and knock Val off her throne. Cause throughout the fight, Alexa wasn't just standing there trying to evade the Russian assassin, she took the fight to her. You all know how good Shevchenko is with her counter-striking, but what if her counter-striking was countered? That's exactly what Grasso demonstrated. She proved herself to be an excellent striker, and at times, she was even getting better of the former champ on the feet.
So hard, I want to evolve. I can tell you that every fight I show that I'm better and better and better. I know that you know me as a striker, but as you can see, I'm working very hard on my...
Looking back at it now, I feel that if the fight continued like that, Grasso would have been able to outstrike Val, and would have eventually secured a decision win. But the Bullet wasn't going to let her do that, obviously. That's why, after kind of realizing that she might not be able to match Grasso on her feet, the former champ decided to take things to the ground. She started scoring takedowns and tried to keep Alexa under her, landing grounded strikes when she could. This was something that was expected, because Val showed her in the past that she's an excellent grappler as well. But she was matched here as well. Alexa may not be a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or of a wrestling background, but she's got an amazing defensive grappling. She showed that she was panicking in tough spots. Instead, she remained calm on the ground and fought off the Bullet from her guard. Like, she even shrugged off the crucifix that Val tried. And she left no opening for the former champion to take advantage of. Her overall solid defense kind of made Val panic, I think, because she started forcing takedowns more and more. And she made it so obvious and so telegraphed later as the match went on that Grasso could see it coming in from a mile away. All she had to do was walk away from it at times. It was just that easy to do because Val wasn't making her takedowns or setting them up like she was supposed to. And she was running out of options fast because she wasn't able to do much in clinches either. Now, this is something I was really surprised with. I mean, fighting from the clinch is something every Muay Thai fighter does really well. So I thought this was one area where surely the former champ would have a clear advantage. But as you guys saw, that wasn't the case here either.
Definitely super tough. She put me on the ground a few minutes and I was not able to go out, but
But thank God I trained it so much, that crucifix position.
Grasso was fighting in the clinch much better than anyone anticipated. Her understanding of over and underhooks must have been surprising to Shevchenko as well, because Alexa landed all of her 8 significant strikes from the clinch. Compare that to only 2 out of the 7 for the Russian, and striking was only a part of it. Grasso's understanding of the clinch also made sure that she avoided many takedowns. She just looked so well prepared for the fight overall. Put all of this together and you'll realize how amazingly the Mexican performed at the night. This was a pure masterclass against one of the most dominant champions to have ever set foot inside the octagon. Before this, Val was undefeated for almost 6 years. That's a lot of time, especially in a sport like MMA, where anything can happen on any given day. And I've got to tell you that her last loss was against none other than the Lioness herself, and that too in a split decision.
Slowly in the round, she's the one getting tired, not me. And I decided with my coach, like at the end of the round, let's take her down. I know she's gonna be tired, and I know I'm gonna get her.
Anyone who can go the distance against Amanda Nunes has to be special. Apart from that, during her 14-fight reign in the UFC, the Russian assassin has defeated the likes of Holly Holm, Juliana Pena, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, and Jessica Andrade. And I must point out that those wars with Nunes were in the bantamweight division. In flyweight, the queen wasn't truly challenged before this. That was simply because she's so versatile. Val came to the UFC as a highly decorated kickboxer and is widely known for her laser-focused counter-striking. Her ability to gauge the opponent's distance is something most athletes can only dream of. Bullet is the most dangerous when she's being pressured. She can slip or dodge any strike or takedown attempt, and often you can see her countering immediately with a right hook, a spinning wheel kick, or a spinning back fist. If one of those lands, believe me, it's usually lights out. But Alexa found the holes in her strategy. She showed the world that Shevchenko isn't infallible. Grasso did something that no one thought she'd be able to do, and she did it in such a way that now no one can ever question her talent. What this means for the future of the division, I can only guess right now. I'm sure Dana's going to book a rematch between these two for sure.
Do you want an immediate rematch? Do you want to fight top contenders? How do you feel right now?
Oh no, definitely immediate revenge, but because I know I was winning the fight.
I mean, defending the title 7 times in a row is no joke. The Bullet at least deserves that. But will she be able to come up with something different to retake her crown? Cause Grasso didn't really show any flashy new technique, to be honest. Yeah, she demonstrated her boxing prowess and her awareness to take the back when given the opportunity, but that's about it. On the other hand, Shevchenko may need to reinvent herself entirely. Those are all the flaws that Grasso exposed in Valentina's technique.